Well, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to A Therapeutic Edge. It's very nice to have you here. I've got something on the table that I like a lot. It's a budget knife. It's from Bestechman, which is Bestech's budget line, and I don't care how long they're going to be around. I do not like the name, but nobody asked me, so here we are. This is the Good Boy. Sure, why not? This is the Good Boy, and it is... Okay, a little while ago, Nick Shabazz made a video that talks about how excellence is sort of the bare minimum at this point. Machining, understanding of ergonomics, materials, it is not hard to make an excellent knife anymore, which means when somebody makes a knife that is good, it can't really be a surprise anymore. So it's not a surprise this is a good knife. What is a surprise is how much I like the way everything that they did came together. So let's talk about the Good Boy here. First, it's a button lock, as you can see, which I really enjoy. Second, look at this blade. It's got a compound grind at the tip. It is high flat. It is really slicey D2. The button actuator works perfectly every time. There's no button lock stick, which you get on some knives. This has none. The action is absolutely superb. Ergonomics on this knife are very good. Now, in a video recently, I talked about how I don't like knives that have big lumps, especially on the finger side. This is a very neutral shape. It's got a little bit of a swell back here, so it sets into your palm really well. It's got lovely blue thumb studs on it. It's running on bearings. It does have steel liners that are milled. It's got a steel stamp, like folded stamp steel clip. The only thing I will say that I don't love, and this is one of those things where I don't even know how they can make a mistake like this anymore, but this is really small. Like, getting this thing in and out of jeans with thick pockets is kind of a pain in the ass. Well, getting it out's easy. It's not that, it's got lots of spring, but this hooks. Anyway, this is the one thing that I don't 100% love. Whatever. The Good Boy here is, I think Bestechman's got 2 or 3 knives out now. This one has been out for a little while at this point, probably about a month. So I'm late to the party. I've had it since the day they dropped, actually. Dirk Werning, I'll put a link to his channel in the description, loaned this to me, and another knife that you're going to see next week, by the way. Yeah, the Good Boy here is about 54 bucks. It's G10 and D2. It's a button lock on bearings. You can flip the clip, which is really nice, right? It's got the space on both sides for the clip. And it's got this fantastic compound grind on this drop point. I just love the way this thing looks and feels. They've done a really good job. It's very lean, very comfortable. Let's get some specs out of the way, shall we? You get almost 3.5 inches of cutting on 3.5 inches of D2. The grip area from behind that swell, you're coming in at 4 full inches. The knife overall from tip to tail is 8 1/8 inches overall. Closed length is a little over 4.5. And in the pocket, it's going to chew up a little over 1 1/4 inches. But because there's no flipper tab, you're not going to have to worry about it chewing up stuff in your pocket. I will also say that this whole thing is crowned. Like, it's just rounded off. The only aggressively sharp edge on this knife is right where you want it. I love this compound grind. That line right there. Does it do anything really for the knife overall? No. Is it an aesthetic touch that I really enjoy? You can see where the blade kind of sharply narrows right here. That's that line. And so it makes it thinner and sharper at the very tip where you're going to do most of your work than it might otherwise be, which I think is a really neat feature. The jimping is surprisingly aggressive. Like, it's soft to the touch, but when you put your thumb on it and push, it just locks it in, and pull too. It is really well sorted. Some knives have, big round soft jimping, like the Griptilian here, right? And you can just move your thumb over it, no problem, right? It's there, you can feel it, but it doesn't grip. This, same pressure as I put on the grip, and my thumb does not move. That's just well thought out. The design is simple, a couple of barrel spacers. Got G10 with some milling in it for some grip. This is a really nice work knife. It just is. Let's do some size comparisons while we have it on the table. Since we just pulled it out, here it is against the full-size grip. And as you can see, they are very similar in overall design, even, right? Handle shape and everything. The Good Boy here is a little bit longer in the handle, and you get a little bit more cutting area. But if you like the Griptilian, if you like the way it feels in your hand, you're going to love the Good Boy. And at, what do we say these things are? $53.90 right now, so $54. Look, I know there's such a thing as D2 fatigue. When I first posted this thing on a short, first thing somebody said was, I'm tired of D2, and I get it. In a collector's world where you're buying knives for lots of reasons other than just to use them, D2 is a little tired. But as a working tool, well heat-treated D2 kicks ass. It just does. I love 14C. It's my favorite budget steel, but all of the D2 knives I have, and I've got a whole roll of them, ones that I've really enjoyed that I haven't gotten rid of, that I've just kept, none of them have rusted. All of them have held an edge beautiful. Well, I mean, in the early days, there was some stuff coming out that said D2 that wasn't. So that was problematic. But since that has become known and knife companies aren't screwing around like that anymore, a good D2 blade is going to serve you remarkably well. There are a couple of reasons why you might not want one. If you live and work on the ocean or in a swamp, D2 is not going to be rust and stain resistant enough for that environment long term. But if you live where I do, like in California, and you're going to go visit the coast, it's not like it's going to rust as soon as it gets within 30 feet of the ocean. So seriously, it's marvelous steel. I really like it. Now, I have noticed there is a little bit of a recurve to this one, and I'm not sure if that's supposed to be there, or if it just looks like it's got a little... Hang on a sec. Let me try something. This is glass. Yeah. Okay, so there's a little bit of a recurve to the blade, which I like recurve blades. I think they're very useful. I don't know if this is recurve because it just gets deeper here near the sharpening choil or by the plunge, or if it was supposed to be recurve. It's the only one I've had. Either way, a couple of sharpenings and that will go away. But hey, let's do some more size comparisons. Here it is against the bug out. And as you can see, it is considerably bigger than the bug out. Here it is against the PM2. It is got a lot more cutting area than the PM2 and just a little bit less handle. This is that swell I was talking about. I like it when the swell is on the back of the handle. This has got a nice curve to it, but I'm always fighting with this, like where to put my hand. Anyway, you get the idea. This neutral shape is marvelous. Here it is against an old enemy of mine. This is the Rat 2. I hate this knife. Super uncomfortable for me, but anyway, as you can see, the Good Boy is considerably bigger and about the same price nowadays as the D2 version of the R2D2, as it were. Yeah, let's go ahead and weigh it. Feel particularly heavy. It's well balanced. In fact, it's really well balanced. It's very comfortable in hand and very fast because of that. All right. 3.5 ounces. So a little bit over, well, where were we? Right at that ounce per inch for blade length that the hardcore EDC folks really enjoy. Yeah. let's see. I'm not going to show it to you because it's ridiculous, but yeah, 3.2, 3.1 millimeter thick blade stock. Nice high grind. Relatively clean blade. It's got the designer's name here, and it's got Bestechman focus there. Other than that, it's clean, which is really nice. Listen to that. Snaps open, makes a nice noise, but on the close, just gentle. It's lovely. Anyway, this is the Bestechman Good Boy. They are available now. And if you're looking for a budget-friendly, kick-ass knife, you know, you're not going to go wrong here. If D2's not your thing, I understand. But for most folks, I think it's going to serve really well. Anyway, I'll put a link in the description to one of the major sites that carry these. Thank you so much for your time today, and we'll see you next time.